So let me go on to the next kind of group of exercises. And this is more about incorporating your body, helping to support your voice. So the first one might seem a little bit strange. It does a number of different things to help you with getting more familiar with your body. I like you to make a revving sound, like revving the engine of a car. And for the people that I have here that come to my studio that are watching, they'll be very, very familiar with this exercise. The problem that people have when they're first learning to sing, and I see it time and time again, it's a really common problem. People hold themselves far too tightly when they're getting like ready to sing. I remember actually it was a competition a while ago, and this person was a really, really good singer, but they were probably the worst person I've ever seen for holding their body really tense when they sang. Their shoulders are tight, their arms are tight, and he was sticking his neck out, and it was really tight as well. Like his whole body was tense because he was trying so hard. And that's why I thought it was a shame, because he was a really good singer anyway. And if you could possibly like relax his body more, he'd be an even better singer. And that's it's a common problem. I know everyone that like when people are really good singers, they make it look so easy, and that can get people really confused. They associate like when you put in more effort, when you sing, and more physical effort, more exertion, and more tension. You work on the assumption that more tension and more exertion is going to mean that you're going to be a better singer, but it's not at all. It's all about being very effective and really smart about how you invest that time and that effort. But it's something that I say to my pupils an awful lot, that musicians are lazy. We are. It's just the truth. We're trying to have the most effective sound that we can muster with the least amount of effort expended, like all the time. If there's a way that we can create a good sound with using virtually no energy, then we're going to go for it, as long as it doesn't compromise what we're doing in any way, or it might possibly even improve it. That just because singers make it look easy doesn't mean that they're not working really hard. They are working hard, but don't associate working hard with your body being tense. It's a bit like going to the gym or something. You know, that it's important to isolate groups of muscles at your gym. You're working. I can probably tell that I don't go to the gym very often, to be fair. I have frequented on occasion, but you know, you're isolating like something like, of dumbbells, and you're working your arms and stuff. There's no point in the rest of your body being tight when you're doing that, because you're isolating. You're working on one particular part of your muscles and muscle groups in your arms. And that's the thing about singing, everyone, is that you're using a lot of your abdominal muscles to help with supporting your voice. And it's all about getting the balance right with this. When you're trying to use these muscles, don't think that you have to just hold it like a Mr. Universe pose, like, and everything be super tense all the time. It's important that you don't make everything really tight and really tense. But by the same token, you don't want to not use your muscles at all, because that's just as bad as making them too tight. What we're trying to do is make it sound like we're revving the engine of a car. I'm full of car analogies for when I'm teaching, and I don't really know why that is, because I don't actually drive. So I'd like you to put your hand just on your tummy, and I'd like you to do a sound like you're revving the engine of a car, and I'll go a bit like this. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah, you might sound a little bit daft, a little bit silly. So make sure that you're standing somewhere in a nice quiet part of your home, or in your little studio or something. You might get some of your friends and family looking at you a bit funny if you're not in the room by yourself. Have a little try doing a couple of revs and going up and down very gently in your voice. So I'm going to show you again. I'd like you to notice, if we do it a second time, keeping your hand on your tummy, do you notice it like your abdominal muscles come in very slightly when you're doing that revving sound? It's not a big movement. It's just a very slight kind of pulsating movement, just in and out a little bit. Imagine it's like the speedometer going up and down in your car when you rev the engine. Yeah, it's just like a quick kind of sudden like movement, just very slight. Let's try it again. It's that very slight movement that I like you to be familiar with. And we're trying to replicate it with the exercises that we're going to be doing just now. So then we're going back onto the note that we had before, the middle C. We're going to keep things nice and simple. So it's, these are the building blocks, guys, and you can develop them as you see fit. So this time, instead of doing a hum, we're going to do just like we did when we were revving the engine. So it'll sound like this. I'd like to try and do that. So think of it as like one beat on the and then changing to a vowel and doing that 3 times over. Let's try and do it together. So ready? Here we go. And when you feel comfortable with that, see if you can try and do it the V sound for a bit longer and a shorter vowel, because that means that you're helping to sustain your abdominal muscles, keeping them in a little bit, getting used to them supporting your voice for longer. So I'll show you the next one. It goes V-A, V-A, V-E. And we can extrapolate for that for as long as you want. Keep the V one for as many beats as you dare and see if we can change it to the vowel. A similar thing will happen as well, that you might find that your voice is being kind of loud and resonant, but you're not pushing for it to be loud. It just becomes that because you got everything into a good place, you see. So this time I would change it to a slightly different exercise, still doing the V sound, but this time I want to do a wee bit more like moving up and down the notes that we did before, but this time just 2 notes. And that's because when we're trying to incorporate our bodies a bit more into what we're doing, it can be a bit tricky. It can be a bit exhausting as well. We're going to start on the middle C and going up to the D again, and just going between those 2 notes. So if I show you, we're going to start it really slowly. And this is another great little exercise that you can make this harder and harder and harder as you want. We're going to start really slow. Maybe the intermediate and advanced singers might want to start it at a quicker tempo, but you can always build up, okay? So it goes like this. So this is a good one for just keeping going, sustaining the tone, helps you with managing your breathing as well. See how long that you can keep this going for. This would be a bit of a challenge for me actually, because I haven't done actually much singing today. So let's just have a try. Let's see if we can go, just keep going up and down of those notes at the same speed and see how you get on. So I'd like you to try it this time. Remember doing a big voo at the beginning, because that helps to engage these abdominal muscles to come in just that little bit that we need. So ready, here we go. And that's a bit wee for just now. You might have got a bit further than me. You might have stopped a little bit before me. And that's okay. It's all about creating a challenge for yourself. So you might do it like we time it, say, within a metronome or something. You might be able to count how many beats that you can sing for and use that as a benchmark. Say for next time, you might be able to go add an extra beat on, add an extra 2 beats on, see if you can keep it going. So a great little exercise for helping like a couple of things, helping pacing your breathing, helping with the incorporating your abdominal muscles into the support for your voice, and getting used to a little bit more movement, helping you to feel more confident about your voice moving around and building up the freedom of your voice.